Hi guys, it's Debbie, and today I would like to speak about the second season of Stranger Things, now available on Netflix. This video will not contain spoilers about the first season, but it will include many references to it, so if you haven't seen it yet, I would recommend watching the first episodes before you continue watching this video. Also, in any case, I will leave the link to my review of the first season down in the description box below. Now, on to what I thought about the second season of Stranger Things. After the end of the first season, I was very excited for new episodes, but at the same time, I was quite fearful. Because after the creation of such an exceptional product, I had the feeling that nobody would ever be able to create something that could live up to that without ruining it. There was the risk of creating something just for the views, riding the high wave of popularity. Let me just start by saying that this second season is the perfect example of how a series should evolve and how it should be in general. With the first season, the Duffer Brothers created a series of lovable, well-written and well-developed characters with their own individual qualities and personal features, which we were all very familiar with and with which we immediately bonded. The series set up a deep and detailed background, an engaging atmosphere and mood. It was a homage to the pop culture of the 80s. It played on that feeling of longing for our cheerful childhood memories, regardless of when we were actually born. The concept of a strong friendship. In general, it was the ultimate popular, incredibly well-built series. Everything was so well built over the course of time that when the second season started, we didn't need a recap of every detail. Every viewer had already created their own opinion and memory of the characters, and we were all just waiting for the adventure to continue. I read a line from an IndieWire article that perfectly describes this concept, and that is that Stranger Things has created an individual experience for each viewer. We don't need the series to remind us how great each character is, how awesome Eleven was, how fantastic the themes were. We already know it. In Stranger Things 2, our team of all-time favourites returns with some additional new characters, and in general, everybody was absolutely great in their role. The acting was fantastic, the character development over the arch of the series was perfect, the background and emotional analysis were solid, and the new characters did not take the spotlight but instead enriched this web of friendship and love. And as I said over 1 year ago, these actors have the potential. They will go a long way. We already saw Finn Wolfhard in It, and I'm sure we will be seeing most of them in upcoming films, especially Millie Bobby Brown. Theme-wise, the second series follows and develops most of the topics introduced in the first one, but with a much darker twist. The once playful kids have been through so much, they now have a more adult mindset, which allows the show to play with much harsher, darker, oppressive themes. All the light-hearted, cheerful elements which dominated many moments in the first season are now limited to just the opening episodes, then fading into much bleaker images. Both in the more upbeat and the grim scenes, the general aesthetic of the series was absolutely fantastic. The imagery and the general vintage style of the series was one of the features which made the first season so successful last year. As a matter of fact, in 2016, Stranger Things had jumped on that popular bandwagon of love for that retro, vintage, cozy nostalgia of good times, friendships, and the second time round, it really emphasizes these winning features with hints to elements included in the first season, such as board games, certain songs, references, but without simply replicating everything to make us feel nostalgic. It then also introduces some new elements such as video game arcades, and it gives us an absolutely fantastic soundtrack. We have The Police, Motley Crue, Metallica, Duran Duran, The Clash, Queen, just to mention some of them. So again, a perfect homage to the 80s. The digital effects were of an exceptional quality. Now, as you may have seen in my videos, I tend to be very picky about them, but here I was really impressed. In general, I felt that all the elements that built up the series coexisted in a perfect symbiosis, each giving their own unique touch to it. And after the first season had purposely left us with many questions, here they're all answered. Does this second season have any flaws? In my personal opinion, not many. Although I also found that towards episode 7, episode 8, there were certain elements in the plot that could have been developed in a better way. Now, as you can tell, I'm trying not to spoil anything, not to say anything, because I know of the hype about this series. In general, don't worry. Stranger Things 2 is the perfect continuation to a wonderful concept. At this point, I think it is one of the best things that have happened this year series-wise. So, at the end of it all, was this second season of Stranger Things worth the wait? Definitely. There are so many things I would like to say, and I have a feeling I have not said enough about this series, so I hope I managed to express everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.